Hi, my name is Sue and I'm a librarian at the Lincoln Park Library. Today I'm going to show you how to make a lavender bottle. If you grow lavender in your garden, this is a wonderful way to bring that lovely scent inside, and these make really great gifts. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the materials that you're going to need to make a lavender bottle are very simple. You'll just need some lavender, and it has to be fresh lavender from the garden. You don't want to use anything dried because then it's too brittle. The other thing you'll need is some ribbon. I'm going to be using a 1/4 inch satin ribbon, but you can also use an 1/8 inch ribbon or a grosgrain ribbon or anything similar to that. The other materials that you might need are a pair of scissors, and that's to cut the ribbon. And then I also have a pair of clippers that I use, and that's to clip the stems of the lavender at when we're done. They're a little bit sturdier than regular scissors and they work a little bit better. The other thing you might want to use are some toothpicks, and if we need those, I'll show you how to use those. Okay, and that's all you need. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing that you want to do is prepare your lavender. This is lavender from the garden, and you'll notice that it's still quite flexible. I usually select lavender after it has the flowers have fallen off, but it hasn't dried out yet. And you can see that there are some seed heads forming. There are a few that still have sort of the soft flower bases, but the petals are gone. And the reason I do that is so that, for one thing, I like the look of the lavender in my garden. Also, it lets the bees and butterflies get nectar from the flowers, and it's a little bit less moist, so as it dries it doesn't shrink as much. So what you want to do is you want to take your lavender stem and grip it right at the top there, and you just want to run your fingers down there so it strips the leaves off, so all you have is a bare stem. And you want to do this on each of the stems. It's real simple to do. Now you don't want to throw those away because you can use those to put in a sachet. Just let them dry out and then you can put them in a sachet. You can throw them on your fire for a lovely scent, or you can make little pillows out of them. Okay, so that's what you want to do first. And you want to select an odd number of stems, because if you use an even number, your weaving isn't going to work out. Okay, once you have all of your lavender stems stripped and ready to go, you want to line them up so that the base of the flowers are all in pretty much the same place. It doesn't matter about the ends right now. Then you're going to cut a piece of ribbon, and this is about, it's about 1.5 yards up to 2 yards long. You're going to take one end of it, you're going to gather all of your lavender up. You're going to take one end of your ribbon. I like to wrap it around once. And then you're just going to tie an overhand knot. And tie it really tight. Slide it up as close to the bottom of that as you can. And you might want to go ahead and make it a square knot just to keep it really nice and tight. And then you can just slip this in amongst the flower petals. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the lavender in your hand and you're going to turn it upside down, and you're going to bend each of these stems over, and that forms sort of a cage around the lavender flowers. Like so. Now you'll see that things are poking out all over everywhere. Don't worry about that. That will all get enclosed in the bottle as we weave. Okay, now we're going to start weaving. So you want to pull the ribbon out, and the first couple of rows are a little bit awkward, so take your time and just sort of watch what you're doing. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the ribbon out from the middle of the bundle there, and you're going to put it over the first stem. Then it's going to go under the next one, over the next one, under the next one, over, under, over, under, over, under, and it helps to sort of keep pulling the ribbon up towards the top of the bundle. Okay, and then as you get around to the other side, you'll find that the next one that you should be doing is let's see, that one, oops, missed one here. Okay, so under. Okay, so now as you do the next row, you're going to be doing just the opposite. The ones that you went under, you're going to be going over, and the ones that you went over, you're going to be going under. So I'm under, over, under, over, under, over, and you just keep going around like that. Now, if you happen to break off a stem, I'm just going to break this one off just to sort of show you what you're doing. If one breaks off because it's brittle or something, don't worry about it. You still need to insert it in there. This is where your toothpicks come in handy. You're going to take a toothpick and you're just going to slide it up there and sort of create a little bit of a hole so that you can put the stem back in. And you just kind of have to hold it in place. Oops. Maybe use the other end. You just kind of have to hold it in place as you weave, and eventually as you weave the ribbon the rest of the way around, it will be held in there and you don't have to worry about it coming out. But you still need to maintain an odd number going all the way around. Okay, so then just keep going around like that until you get to the bottom of your weaving. And we'll go to the next step then. Okay, so when you get down to the bottom of your bundle, you'll notice that it's sort of created a little oval shape here, and it's gotten more tight down here. You want to pull your ribbon tight enough so that it does that. You can adjust the shape a little bit just by squeezing the lavender bundle here at the top. It's still quite soft. And if you have spaces, like it's kind of tight in some spaces and a little bit more widely spaced, you can just use your fingernail or your some other tool, tip of your thing, toothpick, whatever you have, to sort of adjust those until you get them right. Okay, then you take the end of the ribbon and you want to loop it around the base of the lavender at least once, and then you want to sort of make a loop and put your thumb in there so it forms a loop that you can put this end of the ribbon through to tie a knot. Like so. Now you can leave it like this and just cut it off and you're good to go. But I like to add a bow and a loop to mine so that I can hang it on a button or hang it on the top of a hanger to put in the closet. It just makes it a little bit more useful. It's a nice little feature. So what you want to do that, now you'll notice that on this one my ribbon has 3 loops on it. So I'm going to show you how to make a 3-loop bow. You're going to do 1, you're going to do 2, and you want to put them all on one side of the lavender bow or the lavender bundle, and then you're going to do a 3rd one like that. Okay, then you're going to take You're going to turn it over so that your loops are underneath. I don't know if you can see that. And you're going to take these two loops and this loop, and you're just going to tie an overhand knot with them. Okay, like so. Okay, then you're going to take the two loops that look the most even, and you're going to finish tying the bow with those. And again, it's just sort of another overhand knot. Okay, so there's your bow, and now you have this extra loop here. And that's what you would hang from your button or your hanger. Okay, the last thing that you want to do is your trimming. So you want to take your ribbon, and I like to put a chevron on mine, so I pinch it in half, and then I take scissors and put it at an angle. Get that in half, actually. And that gives me a little pointed tip like that, which I think looks a little bit more finished. Now, if you wanted to, you could slide a bead on here, or you could sew a button to the knot. That looks really nice too. But other than that, the ribbon is done. Now, you want to also trim these extra lavender stems so they don't stick out and get caught on things. And that's where the clippers come in handy. These are a little bit sturdier than scissors, although scissors will probably work. And you just hold them together and clip them straight off. Now, don't throw the stems away, because you can put those in a fire and they smell really nice. Or actually, all parts of the lavender plant are scented, so these actually have a fragrance as well. So you could crumble these up and put them in a sachet too. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is how to make a lavender wand. Now, basically, that's the same thing as a lavender bottle, except we maintain the length of the stems on this one. So again, you want to take it and tie a knot, wrap it around, and then tie a knot at the end just to sort of hold everything together. Then you take your extra ribbon and you're going to wind it around the stems. And you want to keep this fairly tight. Until you get down to where you might want to trim it. Then you're going to wrap it around and start coming up the other direction. So you're going to go back towards the top there. And again, you want to keep that kind of tight. You want to keep it evenly spaced. And that gives you, it wraps up the stems and keeps them nice and close together. Then again, you can just you can either just tie a knot, or you can do the bow thing again. Make that a little bit longer. Down the middle. Take your two loops. Do an overhand knot. Preferably an even one. And then another knot to form your bow. I will redo that so that it looks better. But basically there you have it. And again, you want to trim your ribbon. And trim your stems. Okay, so you can take these, you can make bundles of these and put them in a cup like a bouquet. They're really nice to tie onto packages if you're giving a gift, or to put them in like with a sweater or something like that. It's just another form of the lavender bottle that can be used like that. So there you go.